Good evening to all of you. My name is Carlos Pascual. I'm one of the members of the board of Internews. I'm extraordinarily proud to have been a member of the board of Internews for the past couple of years. It's an organization that I've seen operate on the ground and make differences in people's lives and communities and societies. And we're thrilled that you're willing to be with us tonight at the annual Internews Media Leadership Awards. As we go through these awards, one of the things that I just wanted to underscore at the beginning is that we're here because we're here to honor what are global values. These aren't American values, they're not foreign values, but they're part of all of our lives. And I just want to read one quote. It is that everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas through any media and regardless of frontiers. It's from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948, accepted by all of the countries that are members of the United Nations. These are not values that have been enshrined in the United States and are being exported elsewhere. They're values that we're trying to nurture and allow to exist throughout the world. We're here today because we believe in a celebration of these values at a time when there is conflict and struggle in the world and where the rights of people to express themselves really does make a difference. We've seen it in places like Ukraine, where we have journalists here today like Miroslava Gongadze, where the ability to have a check and balance on government eventually allowed an expression of political freedom, where even though there's political chaos, there is a certain degree of freedom that people have in defining their future. We've seen it in Chad, for example, where Sudanese refugees have the ability to communicate over the radio and provide information about what's happening in their communities and how to get access to food and to health care. We've seen it in Kenya, where information on health care and the dangers of HIV have been a critical tool in allowing individuals in their community to avoid the disease and to understand how to deal with it. We've seen it in Pakistan, where the ability to get out information about political transition was fundamental to underpinning what has been an incredible political movement from civil society to promote change in that country. And now we see yet another challenge with 2.5 million internally displaced people over the past weeks, where the ability to have access to media is going to be a critical factor in the capacity of people to explain what's happening in their communities, in their societies, and explain whether they are safe and whether they can return home. So we're here because we think it makes a difference. I want to thank so many people who, in that belief of making a difference, have made such a huge impact on this organization. To Kathy Bushkin-Calvin, who is the chairperson of the board. Kathy, thank you for your leadership of the board, for your leadership in pulling this event together. To Marianne Pearl and Ted Leonsis, who are the co-chairs of this event, thank you for the work that you've done and your sponsorship. And to Marianne, and to the honor of your husband, who lost his life in standing up for the rights of freedom of expression and getting out information to people, this is a particularly important event. We give a special thanks to the Knight Foundation, that's part of the Visionary Circle of Internews, and to DLA Piper, that is hosting us tonight, and the Open Society Institute, also part of a director circle that has been supporting us. And then finally, let me turn things over to Bob Edwards, who is our Master of Ceremonies for tonight. I grew up in my professional life listening to Bob Edwards. I was beginning to tell him that this was the daily intelligence briefing that I had every morning before I actually went and read the intelligence briefing. And this is what gave me my perspective on what was really happening in the world. We all know Bob Edwards. We certainly all know his voice from when he was that fixture on Morning Edition, and he continues on the Bob Edwards Show on XM Radio, on Public Radio International, and most importantly, one of the things he has done is he's reinforced the integrity of media and the importance of radio as a communication vehicle for everybody throughout the world. Bob, thanks for doing this, and welcome.